DJ Metal Craig of Craig's Metal Storm here. I have one of the members of Stoic Suffering with me today. Hey, how's it going? Would you like to introduce yourself and what position you do in the band? Hopefully, I got the band name right.
Yeah. So Stoic Suffering. My name is John, and my current role is I do pretty much everything, all the composition and logistics. Um, we have some really awesome folks that perform with us, but right now it's all me, sort of just do my best to delegate. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding.
Right on. This next one might be a good one and a real interesting one. Sorry, I get a little tongue-tied sometimes. Please go back in the history of Stoic Suffering and how the band all got started.
Yeah, so Stoic Suffering, I think, started back in 2018. My best friend and I had this band before called Of Greater Aspirations, and it was really fun, but ultimately, like, it was more of sort of a happier, more motivational vibe. And at that time, like a lot of people that are gravitated towards extreme music, I was suffering a bit and needed a way to vent that, a mechanism. And so the project initially was created just to be able to explore the space and sort of search for catharsis in that. And since then, I think it's taken on a different vibe. I'm doing great these days, and really just seeing how much fun I can have with the world building, with sort of exploring the different spaces of heavy music. It's very fun.
That's cool, man. How did you guys come up with the band name Stoic Suffering?
Oh man, I think that was what we were that was what I was doing at the time. Uh, I was stoically suffering, and the name stuck, and that's all there is to it.
Who designed the Stoic Suffering band logo?
The band logo,
Yeah.
um, that that was a friend of Matt Miller's that hooked me up. I don't remember his exact name, but I can send the link over. But he did an amazing job. Sort of like added the snakes and everything with it. Really solid design.
And just so you know, I actually thought the band logo was pretty cool and amazing from what I saw of it in your video on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. He did a great job. Really solid stuff.
How did you guys come up with the album title All Tomorrows?
So All Tomorrows is based on the cult classic sci-fi novel by C.M. Koseman, I believe it's pronounced. So this is a speculative evolution novel that is that is sort of set in this different timeline where humanity is sort of just going through these leaps and bounds and going through different major events, interactions with aliens. I don't want to spoil it too much, but the lore goes really deep, and I was fascinated with it. I made a song after one of the antagonists in the book, Beware the Q, and then after that, I really just needed to make it into an entire album, just because there's so much interesting stuff to explore in that world.
That's so cool, man. If you're cool with it and it's okay, can I get you to talk about the video you guys did for the Star People and the themes and concepts behind it?
Yeah, so the Star People is sort of the kickoff. It sort of sets the scene of of the world and introduces us to humanity and how it progresses into this sort of next phase. So there's definitely some themes of transhumanism, um, and just exploring that, and it really is just there to set the stage for the next things that happen, which we're currently working on the music video for Beware the Q, as well as Gravitol afterwards. And it's going to be pretty insane. But for the Star People in the music video, we really wanted to explore something that I've been obsessed with for a while, which is just how much how much can we like show the rhythms going on, and so with the music videos, I spend a ton of time setting everything up so that we would have a light flash with like every kick, every snare, and we had someone in the back that was actually using a joystick and was moving around the lights as we were performing. That was Jordan, who played drums in the music videos, and he did a great job, and I'm really happy with how it turned out.
This next one really might get you thinking a bit. Hopefully, I get the two singer names right. How did it feel working with Cheney Crab and Dennis Stock on the song "The Star People"?
Yeah, it was really great. I think that they both really helped elevate the song to the next level. Both very creative, very professional, very fun to work with. Uh, yeah, Cheney. With Cheney, it was very straightforward and simple, and the material was just awesome. Didn't really have to do anything with it. Just throw it in. And with Dennis, he really did a wonderful job, really elevating the track, and also coming up with some of the lyrics, like the "Red rain stains the soil" that it starts with. That was him, and as well as a lot of the other lyrics and the lyrics for the chorus, and it really added a sort of stylistic flair that I don't think the song would have had otherwise. So overall, super grateful to get the opportunity to work with them. I had also been a huge fan of Dennis's for a long time, since like back in the Make Me Famous days. So that was a sort of I think that my like 16-year-old self would be pretty excited if he knew what I was doing these days.
Cool. Just so you know, we're going to get to talk next about the video. What made you guys want to do a video for this single? And how did it feel working with JT Ibanez for the production of this video?
Yeah, so we wanted to do a video just because we really wanted to fully express what's going on here. And I think that having that having that video, I think, is really important for the immersion factor, and uh, it's also just really fun. And so working with JT Ibanez was absolutely fantastic. He is like next level. Um, yeah, he is like absolutely like super friendly, really nice, and he really knows his shit. Um, when it comes to sort of figuring out how we were going to handle the logistics of everything, he was coming in, and he has a lot of experience, you know, doing videography and cinematography for larger bands, and so having him be able to bring that in was super helpful, and there was definitely a lot of good synergy going on with that.
Just so you know, before we get into the next question, I want to let you know I jammed the video off YouTube before the interview. I thought it was absolutely sick and awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, that's the goal, and it's extreme music. It's not for everyone, but for the people that do like it, I hope they like it a lot.
Who was used to design the album art for All Tomorrows?
So a lot of the artwork is based on the original illustrations of the author of All Tomorrows, CM Koseman. And so I worked with Michael Steinheiser from Good Hangs. I hope that's how you pronounce his last name. Um, Also known as Adventure Skull on Instagram. And back in the day, we started working together when I was on tour over in Germany. I think I was in Germany um, or the UK. I don't remember exactly, but I was at this pub and I was just texting him because I saw his work and it was really fantastic and really creepy. And so we've been working together for the last couple of years on this. Feel like a couple of years. I think it's been a couple of years. And so a lot of the artwork is also taken from stills of these 3D environments and characters that we've been making based on the illustrations from the books. So Michael will go ahead and create those, and then I'll spend a little bit of time just photoshopping it up, slapping on some color grading, some stuff here and there, and then we get the artwork for the covers.
Right on. Just so you know, this next one is a really good one. Gets the band thinking a little bit. Who are the band's musical influences?
Yeah, I would say that there's a lot of influences from everywhere. It's hard to say exactly what the influences are, but um, one large influence I think is Born of Osiris. Um, I think that their like their songs like Follow the Signs um, or Machine, uh, they really do a great job sort of melding together all of these intricate layers of different synths, different percussions, different hits, and putting them all together into this like really hard, cohesive um, end product. And so I would say Born of Osiris is definitely a strong influence. Um, I would say that Darko is also an influence, or they're sort of like a convergent evolution of this like this path of um, sort of very heavy, very sort of experimental, progressive deathcore with lots of exploration into sound design. Um, I think another good example of an influence would be like Humanity's Last Breath, um, where they really sort of fold in the sound design as a really integral part and sometimes even the starting point for songs. I think that that's definitely the case with Stoic Suffering as well. Um, you know, so song the way that things are created and sort of played around with, um, it's not just like about the drums and the guitars and the riffs and the bass. Like it's also just about the sound design and sort of the landscapes that we're trying to paint here.
I get you there, man. I actually am a musician myself. On top of being an internet radio DJ, I'm into old school stuff like DSI, Cannibal Corpse, Incantation. I get into deathcore stuff like Rings to Saturn, Born of the Stars, like you mentioned. Another death metal, brutal death metal band like Pathology. I'm also into some black metal like Darkthrone, Bathory. Uh, can't remember the last name of the one I was going to think of, but it was another one. Oh yeah, Immortal, to name a few of the influences I'm into myself for music.
Nice. Yeah, it's really great. Sort of there's so much diversity in all the different subgenres and so many different places to find inspiration from. It's really fantastic, and there's so many different um, things that you can sort of pick and choose, um, and interesting combinations that come up with, especially like with all the ones that you mentioned. Whether it's black metal or Cannibal Corpse, um, the possibilities of like how you can pull together inspiration from that and make something else from it. is really exciting.
Before we get into the next question, I want to first thank Katie from Suspiria PR for the interview we're doing right now. She is the one that set us up with it. I'm really appreciative of her. I've done a lot of work for her, and she's a great gal.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the band's immediate music career goals?
Immediately, we're just trying to get this stuff out there. Um, it's it's a really ambitious project, and it's a ton of investment and labor. Right now, the immediate goal is finishing up the music video for Beware the Q. And that's, we're really trying to push the boundaries with everything we're doing, not just sonically, but also just as an overall product. And the we've been exploring putting music videos out in like HDR. Since there's all these flashing lights, just being able to utilize more of those nits of brightness that most people's phones can do, so that when they see it, it really just like pops out and assaults you. So we're really just trying to make the most intense experience possible with what we have. Um, and so that I think is the main career goal, is just to get the stuff out there. And if people like it, if people want to engage with it, if it makes them feel like banging their head backwards, then mission accomplished. Um, I think that especially deathcore, and there's a lot of genres, like even EDM. There's sort of this continual like upping of the ante and sort of pushing the bar here and there. And I don't think that you need to do that to make good music, but it is it's really fun to get to just like carve out a chunk, if we're just like in this like forest, I feel like a lot of these like pioneering deathcore or fall bands like Mirar, they're really just like they got their machetes and they were just clearing out the forest, like exploring these different places, going through the swamp and cutting through it. And we're just looking to swing our machete a little bit, and um, in the process, maybe we'll get to sort of have a couple of blades of grass or whatever that we're like, yeah, we were the first to cut those. So yeah, we're just trying to be a part of this like larger um, exploration that the extreme music community has been doing for a very long time now.
I've got three more for the interview if the time limit allows it. For the second last question of the interview, if the time limit doesn't allow it is, what social media outlets can the band be reached on?
Yeah, I would say Instagram is probably the best one. Yes, there's TikTok and Facebook, but we're most active on Instagram. So hit us up there. Um, and I think that's about it, to be honest.
Okay. This next one's a really good one. Please give some vocal tips or vocal advice for starting out vocalists to help them get themselves better.
That's an easy one. Drink lots of water, and then drink more water. So I would suggest, if you're going to practice, have at least like two water bottles worth of water before doing that, and really like make sure it's in. Um, if you can do that, then you'll be solid. Um, there's there's a lot of advice and sort of things that people will tell you to do. Um, when I was starting, one of the big ones was having hot tea with honey, just to like coat everything. And while that does kind of help, and the the heat from the water can help loosen things up. The honey actually like it's going down your throat into your stomach. It's not going into your vocal cords or your windpipe. And so the honey actually isn't helping as much as you think it is. So the thing that's really going to help you is just to make sure that at least half an hour before you had a shit ton of water. And some people like warm-ups, some people don't. But I would say that um, it's best to err on the side of doing as many warm-ups as possible and really just exploring that space. If you happen to be one of those people that don't need to warm up, then that's awesome. Um, but especially as you're getting started, definitely something that you want to play around with. Um, and then there was one more piece of advice, which is that make sure that you can hear yourself when you're doing vocals. So that could mean if you're not using mics and you're just doing it in an area, like do it up against a wall where the sound is bouncing back and you can hear yourself. If you're using a microphone or you're recording, make sure that you have some sort of monitoring system that is like cranked up with a good amount of compression. Really like quick and dirty way you can do it without introducing latency is to just throw on a, a clipper and just like uh, put that all the way up. It could be a soft clipper too, but just make sure that you can hear yourself because if you can't hear yourself that well, like if you're screaming into a muffled space or screaming in your car with music in the background, you are going to try to match um, the mix, what you're hearing. And if your voice isn't loud enough, if you're not hearing yourself enough, you are going to compensate and try to scream louder than that. And that is going to result in you blowing out your voice. So you don't want to do that. And the best way to do that is by being able to hear yourself and drinking lots of water. And when you're performing live, if you know you have like a show tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, maybe a rest day, and a day after that, um, don't talk too much during the day. Drink lots of water. Um, don't drink too much alcohol. And I would also suggest to you, a lot of the vocalists that you see, they look like they're absolutely like, like screaming their lungs out. Um, and some of that is actually like miming or moving along to it. It's pretty common to not be going actually at 100 or 110%, but like reining it into like 75% and then just like moving a little extra and like exaggerating those movements. So just if you want to be able to sustain yourself over a long period of time, you have to pace yourself and like scream at 75% because otherwise you're going to be toast and it's going to be very hard and you're probably not going to sound that good by the third show. Um, Couple other things, lung capacity. Um, Make sure that you're actually breathing in all the way. You know, most people like your lung capacity as you're talking, even as I'm talking now, my lungs are like going from 10% capacity to 40%, and you really just need to like actually do a full breath in. See, that's a lot more. And now I'm talking from 100% to 80%, and there's a lot more space. And then you breathe in and you just keep it around that area, and then you have so much more to work with, and you don't find yourself losing that steam and losing the power you need to have the tonal qualities that you want. So make sure that you're breathing in all the way and also that you're posing in ways that are conducive to fully breathing in. So shoulders up, just like you want to really focus on the posture. And one thing that I definitely struggled with on tour was just that you're elevated, and when you're on that elevated platform, it's pretty normal to want to sort of like bend down a bit and sort of hunch over. Um, because they can't even really see it because you're sort of just like hunched over and like looking at them, but like you can't really have you utilize your full lung capacity if you're doing that. So you really just need to like constantly check in with yourself and like make sure that you're actually like this rather than, like this. So that I think that would be my beginner advice.
Right on. This was the last question of the interview, and only the station IDs after that. What new band news do you have on the Stoic suffering front? Is there anything we might not have covered in this interview today?
Oof. I think that the key points is that we have Beware the Queue that came out about a week ago. The track is out. The music video is coming out within the next couple of weeks, and then next month we have Gravitol, which is going to be absolutely insane. It's one of my favorite tracks off the album. And then after that, on April 4th, we have the release of All Tomorrows, and that's going to have a couple of extra songs as well as Astromorph, which is the big final song that really ties it all together. And that is a uh, really awesome song. I worked that it's going to have a guest feature with Dennis Stoff and Cheney Crab again, and it was really a joint collaboration with Iron Audio. So Aaron Shaparian, who is an absolutely like couple leagues above me in terms of songwriting, mixing, mastering, production. So we worked on this and collaborated on this track together, and it really is different from anything we've done before. And it was sort of written in a way that was inspired by Duel of the Fates from Star Wars, and really playing around with the orchestral elements and really going into new territory. So really excited about that, and that will be coming out with the album in the full release.
Right on. That leaves us with the station IDs now. First one is, hey, this is John, I think you said your name was, right?
Yeah,
John of Stoic Suffering, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio. Whenever you're ready, you can say that station ID.
the station ID.
Yeah, as in a radio station ID that I have for the station I'm at. I just gave you
Okay.
the ID. It's, hey, this is John of Stoic Suffering, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
Hey, this is John of Stoic Suffering Music, and you're listening to Mangled Music Radio.
And then the second one is for Craig's Metal Storm. Basically, you say the same thing in it.
Hey, this is John from Stoic Suffering, and you're listening to Craig's Metal Storm.
Cool. Thank you very much for the time, and thank you very much for the interview, John.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to interviewing you again. Maybe I'll be the one that'll be interviewing you.
Cool. All right. Have yourself a good one, buddy.
All right, you too. Take care.